State Film Festival, and here with me is filmmaker Luke Momo, who made the feature film Capsules. He is the director, producer, co-writer, and editor of the film. Luke, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sophia, and to Garden State Film Festival for having me. It's really exciting to be able to showcase the work here.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited for people to see this film and that I had the honor to talk to you about it today. Congratulations on your acceptance and congratulations on making a feature film. I'm sure it was not easy.
Yeah,
So, before we get into this, I'd love for you just to introduce yourself to everyone and tell us a little bit about Capsules.
definitely. I graduated in 2015 from Hopewell Valley Central High School, which was in Central Jersey, which exists, which is a joke that we say in New Jersey. And there's a nickname for my high school. Instead of Hopewell, people would call it Dopewell. And there's a lot of sort of that feeling in my film. It has to do, if you look in the background in one of the scenes, there's a dare um, a dare sign that was actually there by accident. We didn't intend for that to be there, but a lot of the film kind of has to do with just this whole kind of part of our lives, really, of substances generally.
Wow. Wow. I remember Dare from when I was going to school. I wonder if they still have that, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Oh my gosh. That's, I want to say amazing, but I guess not really growing up in that area. But I'm sure it was. I'm also from Central Jersey. It is real.
Yeah.
It's really cool to talk to a fellow Central Jerseyan. So, is that safe to say that, that was the inspiration for your film? When did you write it and how did the idea come about?
Yeah, that was more of a glib, it's just sort of fun story to tell. A lot of it had to do with too. So I went to Fordham University, and um, a lot of it, me and the co-writer kind of like just came up with certain kind of similar experiences and imaginative scenarios of different things that we had seen and been through there. So it really was more of like a collage of different inspiration. It wasn't really just one thing in particular.
Wow. And your co-writer, I'm glad you brought him up, Davis Brown,
Yeah,
right? And he also plays one of the stars, Ryan, in the film.
yeah. He's Ryan.
Wow. And he did an amazing job. And I want to talk about the actors. The guy who played Ryan was amazing. Everybody was so talented. And it really is an ensemble. So it's so important to have such great actors. I want to talk to you. How did you find this cast?
Yes. So the cast was a piecemeal process. First person cast was Davis. That was strategic because when you write a script, you really get to know what the story is. So to have one of those writers in there actually saying the lines and aware of the intention of each scene, especially when you're doing a micro budget film, is very helpful. So we had Davis, and then the second person we cast was the lead character name is Dev. That was our friend. She also went to Fordham University. Her name is Caroline Potter Shriver, and she was a dance major at school. She was not an acting major, and like she was in a music video that I had shot as a background dancer, and had never sort of anticipated I'd work with her as an actor, but she started doing these performance showcases as a part of this artistic kind of salon sort of performance event she does in New York City, and she's showcasing her one woman play. So Davis and I saw this, and I thought it would be a great idea for her because I saw she had great acting sort of skill to
Right.
try and cast her for the movie. Then Marcus, who plays Jasper, was someone who I had known through different friends in college, and he had never. I'm not sure he had ever acted before. He had
No
directed.
way. He is
Yeah,
amazing. And they're all so
yeah,
good, but that's crazy if he's really never acted before
yeah.
this.
He didn't, and he had directed his own micro budget feature film, which is called "Thank You for Your Patience," and it's available on YouTube. You can watch it. It's really a beautiful film. It's like two people. The subway stops working in New York City, two people are on their commute to work,
Ooh.
so they decide to walk together and get to know each other, and it's like just a nice little sort of kind of like a Linklater film. I told him it kind of reminds me of like Before Sunrise.
Wow. I'll
So
definitely check that
he,
out.
yeah, he had directed this film, and I had just known him as a person. And I think like during the pandemic, like as I was like going through my Instagram stories, like just following my friends, so I couldn't really see as much. I
Mhm.
kept seeing him the way he would do his Instagram stories. Like, wow, he really looks like he looks great on camera. Like, have you ever thought about acting? So, so I had a picture of him from his Instagram, and I was like, "Can you be this for an hour in a movie?"
Wow. You knew right away that he should play Jasper, though? Was it
Yeah,
like, I just want you in the movie, or
yeah.
no, I want you as
He
this
was
character?
never, yeah. There's never really anyone else for Jasper.
Right.
And then for Maya, Kate Hittard, there was the makeup, costume and production, uh, Addie Thompson, who helped us really invaluable on the film. She was helping me cast that part of Maya in the last minute because we had someone fall through. And
Mm.
I saw Kate's Instagram. That was how she sent me all these different Instagrams. Addie had sent me all these different Instagrams of different actresses she knew in New York. And she had known Kate since she was a kid. I guess they grew up together in the Carolinas. I can't remember where. Um, and I remember looking through Kate's Instagram, and I was like, this really seems like the character to me.
Oh, wow.
So I was
So
very,
Instagram was a great tool for you,
yeah, it
it sounds
was.
like. Oh my gosh, what a, like, amazing happy accident and how everything fell into place. There's
Yes,
such a strong ensemble, and being talented actors and listening to each other and having that chemistry was so important in this film because your directing style, I mean, I really think it, like, bleeds through the film. I saw a lot of long takes and where you're really just watching organic acting and really strong dialogue, so I commend you about that, and I'd love to talk to you about directing that. What was it like directing these actors, those long shots? Like, talk to me
yeah.
about directing Capsules.
So there's a book that I was recommended by this gentleman. He's a line producer in the industry. He did Tesla. His name's Javier Gonzalez, and he said, "Oh, he's the one who got us the very talented makeup artist who did the." There's a certain scene in this movie that we call it the dissection scene or the surgery scene, and she had worked on Good Time that had been done by the Safdie brothers with Robert Pattinson doing the makeup for that. And she had done some deleted scenes actually for that film that didn't make it, but you can find on YouTube. Anyways, this line producer had sent me a book called I think it's called My First Movie, and it's got a collection of different filmmakers and their kind of recollections on being able to make their first feature. And there's this filmmaker called Mike Figgis who has done a lot of different films. And what he said was, is when you're on these micro budget sets where time is so limited, you can only really do direction like a little colder, a little hotter, a little, bring more, bring less. You can't really get too psychologically involved with the actors. So, truthfully speaking, with Capsules, it was a process of really having a full dedication to learning the lines and having one or two passovers of the script where we really went over, do we know what the intention of the scene is? And then from there on, it was moment by moment on the set each day, just throwing it down and seeing the best thing we could come up with and going with that. And there
Wow.
wasn't much more. It's sort of formulaic in the best possible way.
Wow. And so I'm asking, what was the, like, most important thing for you to do as a director? I think you touched on it, but this film kind of takes place in like one night, one
Yeah.
day, and obviously I'm sure you didn't shoot it in one day. So I would love to know, how long was this filming process and what was most important for you to kind of sell that it was all one night, even though you're shooting multiple days?
Yeah. You know, there was so the energy of the film, especially the second half of the film, when there's just that feeling of panic in the characters, we had that in the first half of shooting this film because we shot it in 8 days. And it was very, I'm not sure the actors had more than 5 takes. We had more than 5 takes of a given scene. So the average your average amount of attempts was low. It really was kind of like a
Right.
sporting competition where it's like there's only so many pitches that you get or possessions of the ball to really score. Just so like we really felt the pressure in the 8 days to get the what was originally scripted to be an 84-page script. Um, so yeah, the pressure
Mhm.
was on in terms of timing, but that was good because it didn't allow you too much time to dawdle.
Right. So would you say like it was most important for the actors to be memorized, for you to kind of just trust what was like kind of not be a perfectionist? Like what was the most important thing for
Yeah,
you to do as a
a
director?
very talented acting friend of mine. Her name's McKenna Quigley Harrington. She's in Tulsa King now. She went to Fordham as well. One advice she had given me over the years was always emphasize with your actors to know their lines, because when they show up
Mhm.
on set, you don't have time to know the lines. And that can happen sometimes. The actor, because they're already so happy to be in the film and so on and so forth. So it's like, oh, well, the lines, I'll get those the day of. It's like, no,
Right. Yep.
have to, it's a little bit, yeah, you have to know them. So that really was, knowing the lines was in, invaluable. I recommend that to anyone who's setting out to make a film, especially when you have limited
Mhm.
time.
So a little bit before this interview, we were talking about how you were actually the lighting and the cameraman on another project that got accepted into Garden State, The Old Guitarist, with Will Nunziata, filmmaker Will. And the look of this film is so beautiful. The cinematography like stands out.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with that side of the job, but your cinematographer is Harrison Kraft.
Yes,
So
he's
talk to me
very
about
talented.
Harrison and how you guys came up with the look of this film.
So Harrison, I have never met someone who's more sensitive to images than Harrison is. He's just so talented and aware of what is going on in any given situation. And the cinematography of Capsules, truthfully, was a um, sort of on the run, um, you know, just get as much as you can, do whatever you can with the situation. We had chosen some key locations like that house, and I had found those different, like that carpet that they have and that yellow couch. So I knew some of those would read really well on camera. But truthfully, that lab scene that's in the movie, there's 10 minutes of this. We had like this really silly, strange basement I had found to do that in. And luckily, by luck, once again, there was this other part of the location that we were able to use that night, and that was what we did use. And it was this law office that had these curtains. It was like this glass kind of box, and Harrison loved it. And we saw the exit sign there, and when you see the scene, you know what I'm talking about. It's this really strong kind of hellish red.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, what we'll do is we'll turn some lights on outside. Then it'll feel like the exit signs are like you're sort of on the Death Star or something. It's like
Wow.
this really, yeah. So we were coming up with things. Harrison was coming up with things.
On set, like while right before you guys are filming?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Just as
amazing.
it's just as we were filming it, and yeah, it's amazing. He did the color grade. He was the colorist on this film too, and I got
Wow.
to sit with him for a little bit on his laptop watching him, and it's always fascinating because it's sort of like it's like you're seeing the the alchemist in their laboratory or something. I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe it when you watch him because he's so aware. His eyes are seeing so many characteristics of the image at once.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just very interesting. It's very interesting
Oh my
to
gosh, shout out to
he's
Harrison,
really
to
talented.
you
Yes,
both. Yeah, absolutely
yeah,
extremely talented, and him seeing everything and all that detail really it bleeds through the film. It
yeah.
makes it what it is. Did you guys have any inspiration? Like were you inspired by any other directors, any other films? It was such like a slow burn, but at the same time you're at the edge of your seat. It's chaotic. Like any other
Yeah,
inspirations?
I think
It's a
so for
big question.
Capsules. Yeah, that so the film inspiration for Capsules was what I was telling people, and it's sounds kind of glib and ironic. Is it was like Alien meets The Perks of Being a Wallflower. which
I
doesn't,
love those movies. That's so interesting.
those don't go together. That's like,
No, but
yeah,
that's great.
yeah. Which is what I then said to people too. Is so it's Alien meets Perks of Being a Wallflower, and before I had written it, I was reading for the first time Kurt Vonnegut novels, and he
Mm,
has like some really serious things going on, and then some really funny things going on at the same time.
mhm,
And that was something that I wanted to try and do. Is like, and we had a screening of the film at the Philip K. Dick Film Festival this past December, where that was our premiere, and we had like 80 people in the audience, which was really great. So you could kind of see
mhm.
how people react to it, and we really did. We had some great laughs, the whole audience laughs,
Yeah,
and then there were some moments where you felt like you could hear a pin drop in the theater because it was just intense. So sort of
wow.
those trying to do those different tones. Um, that was sort of the inspiration, I think, in terms of like artistically what we were trying to bring to it. But there wasn't really anything too
Mhm.
specific that it was.
Right. Oh, I love that, and you definitely achieved what you were after, the comedy, the pin drops, I don't know the word for that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
amazing. I mean, unfortunately, we're wrapping up on this interview. I could talk to you all day. This was so great.
Nice.
Thank you so much for talking about this.
Where were you from in Central Jersey, by the way? I wanted to hear that. I want to get a shout out.
Oh, okay. Yes, I was born and raised in Manalapan, New no, I wasn't born. I was born in Matawan, and I was raised in Manalapan, New Jersey. Do you know it?
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you're in Central Jersey, and where were if we could talk, where were
Princeton.
you? Where was it?
Princeton.
Oh,
Princeton.
Princeton. Oh, that's like right next to where oh, gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous place. Love Princeton. All right, so to wrap us up, I'd love to know, I mean, you're a fellow New Jersey person, but why did you submit to Garden State Film Festival, and how does it feel to be accepted?
It feels very nice to be accepted. Are we just want to showcase the film really. So you put your list together and you send it out and hope to get accepted. So we're so grateful to be in the Garden State Film Festival. I had a short film here in the past too, so it's just cool to keep it all in the state where I'm from and so on and so forth.
Yes. Absolutely. And you'll be representing two films, The Old Guitarist, as well as this feature film, Capsules. Congratulations, Luke. Everyone involved did a wonderful job. Really enjoyed the film.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too. Let me tell everyone quickly how we can watch Capsules right before we sign off. It will be playing Sunday, March 26th at the Jersey Shore Arts Center in the block 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. So definitely check it out. Will you be there, Luke?
I definitely.
Awesome. We
See
will see you.
the cast there too. Cast
Oh, amazing. I'd love to meet them.
and crew.
Oh my gosh, amazing. So we got the whole party there. Definitely check that out, guys. Thank you so much again, Luke, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.